ESPN is furious. They are outraged, and they have no one to blame but themselves. Headline at Cage Side Seats. ESPN unhappy with WWE deal. Yeah, I would imagine they are. What I want to know is, why in the hell would ESPN pay over $1 billion for simulated combat? Why in the hell would ESPN pay over $1 billion for an industry that reached its pinnacle 30 years ago? In their defense, it's not just ESPN who has been overpaying for the world's worst entertainment in recent years. NBC overpaid for WWE, Fox overpaid for WWE, but at least Fox was smart enough to get out of the wrestling business. Meanwhile, ESPN's paying over $300 million a year to have exclusive access to WWE PLEs, which stands for Premium Live Events. These are live events where the only thing premium about it is the pricing, because the content is the drizzling shits. You know, the problem with professional wrestling, and as you guys know, Uncle Casey grew up a big fan of professional wrestling, but then, I grew up. But as a child, I really did enjoy it. The problem, though, with WWE, everything's already been done. It is damn near impossible to keep the product fresh. To make matters worse, you're just never going to replicate the 90s. WWE will never reach that pinnacle again, mainly because our soft-ass society will not allow it. If you weren't alive in the 90s, it's really hard to understand how special the entire decade was. It was, without a doubt, the best decade for professional wrestling. The WWF was mainstream. They were the epitome of pop culture. Between the WWF and WCW, almost 10 million people were watching professional wrestling every week on Monday night. If they were generating those numbers now, I could understand ESPN giving WWE $1 billion. What I don't understand is why ESPN is breaking the bank for a niche product. Clearly, I am not the only one asking questions. According to Freddie Prinze Jr., who used to work at WWE, ESPN is unhappy with their WWE deal, and it ain't hard to understand why. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the main channels in the description below. According to Fred the Jr. Prince, ESPN is so unhappy with this deal. I talked to my friend Mickey at Disney. He was like, yo, they better make their money back. ESPN's hot, hot, hot. This deal sucks. Last week, ESPN president Burke Magnus, he said that he was pleased with the WWE deal, which that's to be expected. The deal doesn't officially start until next year. So even if he wasn't pleased, he is stuck with this turd, I believe, for the next 5 years. He's not going to express his grievances publicly yet. Of course, WWE is doing what they do best, which is polishing the turd. We are not aware of Freddie Prinze and his role in the wrestling business. What the hell does that have to do with anything? Fred doesn't have a role in the wrestling business. Neither does the vast majority of your dwindling fan base, because WWE has priced them out. You know, these networks, they are not in the business of letting go of profitable entities. There is a reason Fox dropped the WWE turd. There is a reason NBC let go of PLEs. For starters, WWE ratings are in the pooper. Since Nielsen implemented their new rating system, most programs, especially in sports, have seen drastic increases in their ratings. Not wrestling. For the first time in years, hell, maybe for the first time ever, WWE is averaging less than 1 million viewers on the USA Network. But ratings aside, WWE just isn't a strong enough brand. They don't have a strong enough following to justify ESPN paying $1 billion for their product. Think about it. When is the last time you saw someone wearing a WWE t-shirt? Back in the 90s, WWF merch was everywhere. You couldn't walk through the mall without seeing an Austin 316 shirt. Everyone was doing the DX crotch chop or the NWO hand signal. Stars in the WWF and WCW, they were being interviewed on late night shows. And that's one of the biggest differences between the 90s and now. Back then, professional wrestlers, they were mainstream stars. Hulk Hogan, Steve Austin, The Rock, Bill Goldberg. In the 2000s, you had John Cena. These dudes transcended the mythical world of professional wrestling. Who are the stars today in the WWE? Who are the stars that your wife, your girlfriend, your mother could name? It's been 25, 30 years. I could show my wife a picture of Steve Austin. She would instantly recognize him. If I showed her a picture of Seth Rollins, she would ask, why is that dude dressed like a damn woman? And why does that woman standing next to him keep referring to herself as the man? You have to wonder why the WWE hasn't found a permanent network home in recent years. Every few years, they're changing networks, they're changing streaming services. I'm sure they will claim we're just diversifying our revenue streams. Look, maybe that's true, but you gotta wonder why they were dropped by Fox. You gotta wonder why NBC didn't aggressively bid to keep WWE PLEs. And you gotta wonder where these whispers are coming from with ESPN. I believe Freddie Prinze Jr. Makes perfect sense why ESPN would have buyer's remorse. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later on the main channel.